everyone, welcome to SW News. India is under a continuous lockdown to fight the battle against coronavirus, and this is the 17th day of the lockdown 2.0 that has been imposed in the country. And we at SW News have started this special video series where we summarize the entire day's coronavirus updates for you in brief. So let us first start with the global coronavirus cases and the death toll. Globally, coronavirus cases have reached up to 32,35,722 and 2,28,605 people have died so far due to COVID-19. In India, as of now, there are a total of 33,050 active cases of coronavirus, whereas 8,325 people have either been cured, discharged or migrated. 1,074 people have died due to coronavirus in India. On Thursday, the corona reports of 86 patients in Rajasthan, 71 people in Andhra Pradesh, 33 people in West Bengal and 3 people in Odisha came out to be positive. Now let's move on to important news related to coronavirus today. The first news, of course, is about the migrant workers, the stranded migrant workers. They have been allowed, the movement of stranded persons have been allowed by the Ministry of Home Affairs. The fresh guidelines were issued on Wednesday, allowing the movement of migrant workers, tourists, students, and all the people stranded at various locations across the country amidst the lockdown imposed to curb the COVID-19. In its new circular, the ministry has asked the state governments to appoint nodal officers to facilitate the movement of migrants and students and tourists across the states. The order also mentions that all those who seek to return will first be screened and then only they will be allowed if they are asymptomatic. The nodal officers will have to register stranded persons within their union territories or the states so that their movement will be allowed. Now, the latest guidelines from the ministry said that all such persons will be first screened and then kept in the isolation or quarantine, and after their arrival, they would be kept under a watch for a periodic health checkup, the ministry said, advising the use of Arogya Setu app for the same. The ministry also said that buses will be used for the movement of such stranded people and the buses should be completely sanitized and the social distancing norms should also be maintained. Let's move on to next important news. The Health Ministry today said that it has been largely successful in preventing the spread of coronavirus infection in the country. There are 7 states in the country where the doubling rate of infections is 11 to 20 days. It consists of Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, Orissa, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu and Punjab. Similarly, there are 5 states where the number of infected is doubling in 40 days. This includes Karnataka, Ladakh, Haryana, Uttarakhand and Kerala. At the same time, there are 3 states where cases are doubling in more than 30 days. This includes Assam, Telangana and Chhattisgarh. So overall, the situation is sort of improving. That's what the Ministry of Health said. Earlier, the doubling rate had increased to 10 from 4.2 days. Joint Secretary of the Ministry, Love Agrawal, said that the recovery rate of infected people is also increasing continuously. So whereas on one hand, the doubling rate, the days in which the coronavirus cases are doubling are increasing, whereas on the other hand, we can see that the number of cured persons is also increasing. At the same time, there are 3 states where cases are doubling in more than 40 days. This includes Assam, Telangana and Chhattisgarh. Earlier, the doubling rate had increased to 10 days from 4.2 days. Joint Secretary of the Ministry, Love Agrawal, said that the recovery rate of infected people is also increasing continuously, which is a good sign. So far, 8,324 people have been cured and the recovery rate has been increased to 25.19%. It was 13.06% 14 days ago. So there is a tremendous increase in the rate of recovery in India. Now, of all the corona infected in the country, only 0.33% are on ventilator. They reported that 1.5% of the patients are in oxygen support and 2.34% of the patients are in ICU. The rate of deaths of the total infected is 3.2%. Now, Love Agrawal also said that 49,000 tests are being done daily. 288 government laboratories are working in association with 97 private lab chains, and samples are being collected at 16,000 collection centers. However, the ministry has kept an ambitious target. It has said that in the next few days, the ministry is planning to ramp up the testing to 1 lakh capacity daily. Let's move on to next important news. After the COVID-19 pandemic broke out in China, several global companies, several MNCs are now moving out of the country and are vying for new destinations, and other countries are now trying to rope in those particular companies to their states or their countries, trying to leverage its position as one of the top destinations for foreign investment in the country. Now, Tamil Nadu, the first state in the country, has set up a crack team of bureaucrats to see if investments flowing out of COVID-impacted countries as a measure of supply chain diversification can be drawn into the southern Indian state. Now, this committee will be headed by the state's Chief Secretary and will submit a report within 1 month. The panel will also include representatives from top investor companies from nations like Japan and South Korea, which have already indicated preference to shift production from China. Now, globally, companies are said to be evaluating their supply chains. Recently, Japan had even allocated a portion of its stimulus package to help manufacturers with bases in China to move their units. The panel will formulate a special incentive package and facilitation process to draw investment and identify sectors in which the state can develop ecosystems. The panel will also identify measures to fast-track clearances to promote the investment. This is a first of a kind initiative in India that has been taken by any state government yet. Let's move on to next important news. As the May 3rd, the date nears when the lockdown 2.0 ends, Karnataka government has decided to ease down on the lockdown restrictions to a significant extent on Thursday. Authorities are yet to allow movement of public transport in the state. However, following a cabinet meeting, the government announced that industries in all areas except in containment zones will be allowed to resume operations, which includes public sector units, large industries, small and medium enterprises and IT companies. However, there will be conditions in the operations of the IT sector in particular. The industry has been asked to continue as much as possible with work from home for its employees, as the central government's policy allows the same till July 31. Now, all the industries, including non-essential ones, are allowed to function from May 4. However, masks, sanitization and social distancing norms must be adhered to strictly, and as of now, they can only function with 50% of the workforce from May 4th. Now, decisions on the reopening of salons will be taken only after May 3rd, once the central government comes out with fresh guidelines. Cement and steel shops can open, crushers can begin operations, said the cabinet. However, the sub-registrar offices have started functioning already. They will facilitate the passes for people via WhatsApp if people want to go to these offices for any of the work. Well, that's all for coronavirus update today. For more news and updates, you can log on to www.hwnews.in.
Now be the first to know about the latest updates on our new news app. Go on your Android or iOS, search for HW News Network. Download our app, choose the language you prefer to get updates in, and be up to date with the latest news.